Hello, friends. It's Maria from Closely With You, and today we have a new event format, which is live demo, where we will go through Closely main features, use cases, updates, and of course your questions. So I hope you guys will find it useful and like it. So, since Closely is growing and developing day by day, right now it's not only a LinkedIn automation platform, but also a profile scraper and email finder tool. So, basically, it's a tool where you can either find contacts based on certain criteria and use them for different purposes. So, today we're going to talk about safety and account settings, campaign types, and use cases. Also, we'll talk how to bypass current LinkedIn limits using invite by email feature. We'll speak about Closely Explorer and about the recent update from our team, Closely Surfer. And of course, we'll cover some of your questions. So, Closely is one of the most powerful automation tools on the market, and at the same time, it offers the utmost safety for its users. It's a cloud based software, which means it's undetectable to LinkedIn as contrary to Chrome extensions. Its algorithm mimic real human behavior, making random delays between different actions, for instance, between profile views and sending connection requests. Also, Closely use dedicated IP addresses, currently using US based proxies, but our team is considering an opportunity to add country based proxies in the future. Another important point you should pay attention to is an opportunity for this solution to work in the background, so you do not need to keep your laptop instantly open. Closely also uses a warm up period in order to ensure you appear as a human to LinkedIn and do not send enormous amount of connection requests and messages at once. By default, warm up period is active for each Closely account, so if you want to check or change your settings, please go to your LinkedIn account management tab, choose the account you'd like to check, and click on Edit. So you'll see if the warm up period is on or if it's off, and you can go with the default mode. So in this case, you'll start with the 5 connections per day and 10 messages per day, and this number will be increased day by day slowly. And you can also switch off the warm up mode and put your limits manually, for example, 15 connection requests per day or 30 messages per day or some another amount of profile views per day. Just make sure to stay within some reasonable numbers over here. And we recommend using warm-up mode for newly created accounts with low activity and also with low social selling index. And also, when you plan your future campaigns, just think about the best working days and hours for your messages. I suggest to experiment in this way, but obviously your messages should hit the inboxes of your prospects at the relevant time. So in case if you are sitting somewhere, let's imagine in Europe and planning a campaign for North America, just make sure that your messages are scheduled according to the time zone of your prospects. So you can also easily do this with Closely time zones and working hours for each LinkedIn profile. Just go to profile settings and have a look over here. So you can choose the time zone, you can also choose the working days, and you can choose the working hours that your campaigns will be sent within. So the best time to send your messages is obviously during a working day, and even despite the fact that there is no open data for the highest connection and reply rate available, at least I haven't found such. So we can consider that the best time for sending you messages is during the period of users' activity, which is from Tuesday to Thursday, and starting from the peak time at 12 p.m. and finishing at 5 or 6 p.m. So basically, we encourage you to experiment over here just to make sure that you are setting these parameters according to your ICP. And also, you can change first name, last name, company, and job title in your Closely settings, and this won't affect your profile on LinkedIn. So basically, the interface of Closely is very easy to navigate. It is comprehensive, so from the main dashboard, you can access any tab that you want. And let's speak about campaigns now. So the campaign tab is located on the left side of your dashboard. By clicking on Create New Campaign, you can start creating personalized campaigns and add as many messages as you want using different sources. Currently, Closely has 2 types of campaigns available: connection requests plus follow-up messages, and also invite by email plus follow-up messages type of campaign. Campaign type with an opportunity to send messages within your network is on our roadmap and will be available very soon. You can use different sources for creating your campaigns with Closely and work with different types of audience. Let's have a look. So click on Create New Campaign and choose Connection Request and Follow-up Message. You can type the name of your campaign, let's go with the test 2 here, and then select an account. If you have multiple accounts with Closely, you can choose the one that you'll be running this campaign from. Then click on Save and Next and proceed to the step where you have to choose the source for your audience. Let's start with the most simple one, yet the most popular one, so it's a basic LinkedIn search. In case if you want to add people directly from LinkedIn search, simply proceed to your account, type some keywords, let's go with the account executive, for example, here, and click on people. You can also choose the LinkedIn filters. They are like default filters. They are available with the free LinkedIn account. So you can choose here the degree of connection, for instance, second. You can choose the location here. You can choose the past or current company. Let's go with some over here. And also you can choose the industry and another available profile settings. In case if you have Sales Navigator bot, you of course have greater amount of options with the filters. In order to make sure you are really making a laser target search over here. So once you have your search ready, simply copy the URL of your search and go back to your Closely account. Then put this link in the field Find People. The same with the Sales Navigator. So you can add basically URL from the Sales Navigator search, or you can add a list from the Sales Navigator. The logic is quite the same over here. So once you added this URL over here, click on Save and Next, and proceed to Write Messages screen. You have an option here to add some of the built-in templates, and also you have an option to preview in order to ensure how does your message appear to your prospect. And also you can add a follow-up message that will be sent once the connection request is accepted. You can choose any number of follow-up messages, and you can also choose any delay between them. For instance, after the request is accepted, or some larger delays, let's say 1 day or others. You can also use built-in templates for follow-ups. So once you're finished with the text part, just click on Save and Next and let Closely verify your audience. So you will see here the amount of people available for adding to this campaign. Also, you have an option to click and see if some of the people are already added to other campaigns, in case if you have already launched some campaigns with Closely. So basically, you have an option to save this campaign as a draft or start it immediately. You can also upload a CSV file with the LinkedIn URLs. So simply choose the file from your computer, upload it, and match the fields. For instance, you see here that we have LinkedIn URL found, first name, last name, our job title, and also we have the company name. Again, you're welcome to proceed to write your connection and follow-up messages over here, and then verify your audience and launch your campaign immediately or save it as a draft. So also there are plenty of other options that allow you to use a super targeted list building approach and engage with the most relevant audience. We had a dedicated webinar about this earlier, so I'd recommend you to check our webinar section on the YouTube channel for more info. And today we'll discuss a few use cases, the most common one, and the one that we can share with you from our experience. So basically, the first example is about using the power of content. In our particular case, we were able to have 102 downloads of our freshly published PDF in a week using one of the recent LinkedIn posts with high engagement. Using Closely, we were able to scrape the people who engaged with this post and launch a connection campaign using a post URL as a source. As a result of this campaign, we had 102 downloads. So let's have a closer look. Go to your LinkedIn account, choose the keywords that you'd be using to find content with. Let's try, for instance, best CTA, best call to action. Click search and then choose on posts, not people, but posts. Then just scroll the recent posts looking for some of them with the high engagement. Let's try this one. Then simply copy the link to this post, go to your Closely account, and choose Connection Request plus Follow-up Messages campaign. We have here a special window called Post Engagement, so please paste the URL over here and click to save and write messages. So basically, Closely will find all people who engage with this post. For instance, left a like or they commented it, so Closely will scrape this audience and add them to this campaign. So your task is to create the sequence that will emphasize your commonality with the prospect. So in the first message, you need to show them that you have read this post at least, and you have something to add or ask on this topic. So make sure you really carefully read this post, this particular post. Also add a follow-up message, and as I mentioned before, you can add any delay between the follow-ups and basically any number of the follow-ups following. I'm just recommend you to stay within some reasonable number of messages, up to 7. So basically then click next and let Closely find all people that engage with this post so you can add them to this campaign and engage with them. What I would recommend here is to avoid buzzwords and something to general like growth hacking in your search. So if you want really to engage with real thought leaders, because posts like this usually don't carry much value and you need people whom you can engage in a conversation with. So look for real thought leaders and those who follow them. I'd recommend to opt for thought-provoking posts. This is where most people tend to share their views without limiting their comments to great posts or smile or something like this. Also, for long posts with real cases, with the screenshots, practical things always yield more attention and engagement. And also posts that have high engagement and create value. Keep in mind that the more thought leaders you connect with, the more relevant content you can find, and the bigger are the chances that you reach out to your dream audience at the end. So it's best if you connect with people on a regular basis, expanding your network, all the time. If you want to convert your conversation into book meetings, try using events as a source for your campaign. LinkedIn events are a great tool for prospecting. Where else would you find a group of people eager about one single thing? If we are looking for leads, probably LinkedIn events will be the first place we'd begin such type of hunting. There are a few different types of LinkedIn events you can find out there to scrape. For instance, different meetups, presentation, networking events, etc., etc. So depending on the type of event, you can actually set up different objective-based outreach campaigns. And as long as you know what kind of events your target market attends on LinkedIn, you can scrape the list of attendees and reach out to them with Closely. So if your niche is, let's say, B2B software as a service marketing, all you have to do is to find an event or events related to that, scrape the event, and in your connection request, create a common ground by mentioning at least that you attended the same event. Let's see how does this work practically. First, you have to go to LinkedIn and find any event or events that match in your requests. Let's go with the same example and use B2B software as a service marketing here. Once you have found, don't forget to click on events. Once you have found some related events, just make sure to click attend or register and copy the link to this event. Then go back to your Closely account, click create new campaign, choose connection request campaign, and choose event attendees as a source over here. Simply paste the link to the event and proceed to write messages screen. So basically, the reason this campaign is effective is because people are more likely to connect with strangers they have something in common with. In this case, it's the LinkedIn event that you're both planning to attend or attended if the event has already ended. And I'd recommend using the event name as a groundbreaker for your connection message and bringing up something industry or niche specific in order to gain high acceptance and response rate. You can also emphasize something that you liked or learned specifically from this event if it is already ended. The next use case shows how you can use the power of LinkedIn groups. If you want to invite people to your community, for instance, or share with them your content or offer them your service directly, because LinkedIn groups are a lead generation goldmine. You can literally find a LinkedIn group for any niche, any market, any segment. And our particular task was to grow our sales and growth community on Facebook. And as a result of that experiment, we gained plus 1,000 followers in 3 months. It is called Growth Marketing Plus, and first we had to find people who are interested in the same topic. In our case, it was growth marketing. So the first thing you should do after defining your target audience is to narrow it down to a LinkedIn group or two or more where your audience is engaged. So let's go to LinkedIn. Try some keywords like growth marketing. You can experiment with different ones related to the topic, for example, growth hacking, growth marketing, etc. Also, you can adjust your approach to wider one. In this case, groups like growth hacking, which have around 17,000 of members, will be a good fit for you. Or if you want to go with more niche approach, just choose the groups with the smaller amount of people. They may be more relevant to your particular case. And also remember that you can only send messages to LinkedIn groups you've been a part of at least 4 days. So just join the group and then simply copy the URL to the group. Again, go back to your Closely account, create new campaign, and choose group member as a source. Simply paste the URL. That's it. Closely will do the rest of work for you. We will scrape the people who engage in this group. So basically, you have a chance to engage, to communicate with the people that are highly interested in some specific topic. This is why type of campaigns related to group source is highly effective. We ran campaigns in Closely for a couple of months and experimented with different message sequences for each group to gain maximum effect. So the results were like plus 1,000 people in 3 months. So you can use different sources for a LinkedIn campaign for this type of laser-specific approach in your outreach activities, starting from free LinkedIn search and following list building by context that refers to a way of searching and pulling highly relevant audiences on LinkedIn from niche groups, events, and content aiming to reach out to that audience with a highly relevant offer. Use those sources in your connection campaigns to grow your brand's community, to find people for online events, to send your content in exchange for emails or feedback, and of course for direct sales pitches if you need them. And right now it's time to speak a little bit about a very hot topic, about how to bypass current LinkedIn limits using invite by email feature from Closely. So you all know that you can't connect with literally everybody every day on LinkedIn, because with the LinkedIn connection limits, there is a restriction to the number of connections you can make per week. Right now, it is allowed to send only 100 connection requests per week. So it's 400 in a month total. Previously, it was 100 connection requests per day, resulting in around 3,000 connection requests per month. So just feel the difference. Generally, you are limited to around 250 LinkedIn actions per day, including connection requests, messages, and profile views. However, with Closely invite by email type of campaign, you can bypass current limits and expand your network more effectively, exceeding 1,000 and more connection requests per week. So what you need for this is basically a Closely account and a CSV list with email addresses. Go to your Closely account, click on Create New Campaign, and choose Invite by Email plus Follow-up Message type of campaign. Next, upload your CSV file and let the Closely match the input data. Then proceed to write messages. As there is no opportunity to write a connection message for Invite by Email feature, this is right as in LinkedIn, you'll be offered to create follow-up messages that will be sent once a prospect accepts your invitation. So you can see here that the connection request will be sent by email, and you can see here an option to add the follow-up once the connection request will be accepted, it will be sent immediately unless you choose some other delay. You can add a limited number of the follow-up messages, but I'd recommend to stay within like 5 or 6. At the last step, you will see the number of the emails we have uploaded from your CSV file. You can save this campaign as a draft or you can start it immediately. So all connection requests will be sent at once and they won't be counted into your LinkedIn account limits. Moreover, since you are creating a campaign, not just simply sending a request, you will be able to track the results and manage all answers in your inbox, which is also a built-in feature in Closely. With Closely built-in inbox, you do not need to switch to your LinkedIn account each time you want to check the answers or chat because everything is just in a few clicks away. So what can you do with Closely inbox? First of all, you can add tag to your prospect, for instance, interested or send more information or reach out later. Let's add, for example, positive one over here and add objection over here. So later on, you can filter those conversations by tag. So only conversation marked as positive or negative or objection or any other type of tag will appear once you apply this filter by tag. In this case, it's much easier to find out that conversations that you would like to particularly work with right now at this moment. Secondly, you can filter all your messages by campaign. So in case if you have some active campaigns, you can just simply choose the campaign and the filter by campaign field and see the chats that are related to this particular campaign. So in this case, there is no mass in your dashboard, there is no mass in your inbox because you see only relevant messages relevant for this particular type of campaign. You can leave notes for each conversation with your prospect. It can be for you or just to not to forget to send a follow-up with a deck, for example, etc. Basically, any kind of information that you would like to add regarding this particular prospect. And if you use multiple LinkedIn accounts, you can view all your messages in the same inbox, not having to log in and log out a few times to LinkedIn because you can easily switch between different Closely accounts, LinkedIn accounts. Well, when it comes to a perfect email finding tool for your outreach campaigns, it's worth remembering that in most cases, you'll need to find or extract email addresses, export them, and upload them in your CRM. So you need separate tools for lead finding and for prospecting. And this is how we developed Closely Explorer. This is a B2B database tool where you can find around 143 million contacts from 30 million companies. It contains business and personal emails, LinkedIn URLs, and other fields like industry, geography, company size, etc. Let's have a closer look. How does it work? So, Closely Explorer tab is right in the upper part of Closely interface. It is marked as new because it's just one of the recent updates, and there are 143 million contacts available in order to create your list, and this number is constantly rising. So in order to create your special list, you can use different filters like company name, job department, company industry, company size, and prospect location. More filters are coming soon. You can use, for instance, the filter company name if you know exactly what type of company would you like to reach, or you can miss this field in order to find people based on additional criteria. For instance, you can choose industry if you want broader search. Once you have your search ready, you can open the contacts and export them in CSV. Explorer can provide you both with work and personal email addresses, as well as phone number if available, country, city, and LinkedIn URL. As soon as you open contact information, you'll be charged with the respective amount of credits, regardless of the fact how many emails we found, 1, 2, or 3, because you see that we have different amount of emails for a different person, you'll be charged with 1 credit only. You can see the information about your credits in the upper part of your dashboard. Every Closely user, if you already have a subscription to Closely Automated Solution, gets 500 emails for free, so you can try Explorer and make your decision. Also, you can register a free trial account with Explorer and get 150 credits monthly, and then decide whether you want to update an account with a purchase. You can use found emails to run automated campaigns in Closely using invite by email feature we spoke about like a few minutes ago, or alternatively, you can use them in your email outreach, uploading them in your CRM or other LinkedIn automated solution. And now I would love to share with you some cool updates from our team, and welcome Closely Surfer. This is the Chrome extension that allows you to save people from LinkedIn search to CSV file and get user contacts. This is the Chrome extension that is completely free, and once you installed it, registration in Closely will be needed. If you already have Closely account, you'll be simply redirected to it. With Closely Surfer, you will be able to save people from LinkedIn search to CSV file. You'll get LinkedIn URLs, first and last name, level of connection, job title, company, and location. So basically, you can use this information in your campaigns with Closely or any other automated LinkedIn solution. Also, you can get all user contacts, including phone number, email addresses, company website, location, and even social media, if possible. Again, you can find and save this information in order to use this further in your outreach efforts with Closely or with any other automation tool. Recently, we also have shared our product roadmap for spring, so just in case you missed it, I would love to remind that this is just a part of the Planet updates. Besides some of the flow updates that will eliminate most common issues and Closely Surfer release, we are planning to add My Network campaign and create lists in Explorer for your convenience. So stay tuned, we'll share all updates as soon as they will be released. And now it's time for the Q&A session. I have to say thank you for all the questions you've sent, and we'll cover some of the most common ones. And let me remind that you always can ask your questions and share your ideas in our Facebook community. I'll leave the link below this video. So the first question is the following. I have found 600 contacts on LinkedIn, but only 100 of them are available for campaign. I believe so. So the possible reasons behind this is that, for instance, this contact is already in your network. In this case, it's impossible to add him or her to the connection campaign. It simply doesn't make sense. Secondly, this may be limits on LinkedIn side. It may be impossible to add the contact if it has weak profile or there are some restrictions from the contact side. And another reason may be a limit on Closely side, because current limits are 500 contacts for one campaign maximum. Another questions. Why do I still see some unread messages in Closely inbox while in LinkedIn they are all read? Once an hour during your working hours, Closely checks chats and reads new messages for the previous period. That is why on LinkedIn your messages have been read while you haven't actually opened them. That's because Closely simply reads those messages instead of you. The next question. Is Closely and LinkedIn Growth Lab the same organization? Oh, well, that's a nice question. And LinkedIn Growth Lab is the educational community for everyone willing to learn the latest news and hacks about LinkedIn tips and LinkedIn outreach and LinkedIn as a platform. And it was actually founded by the Closely team on LinkedIn, but later we switched to developing our community, the Closers, on Facebook. And I encourage you to join this community in case if you somehow missed it. The next question, is there an opportunity to run few campaigns in Closely? Well, you can run few campaigns in Closely, adding multiple accounts. And the reason why there is no such option added is because if even if we add an opportunity to run multiple campaigns, the overall limits still remain the same, under 100 connection requests per week. So in this case, just imagine the speed of those campaigns. They will be extremely slow. So this is why currently there is no option to run few campaigns in Closely. This is a question from the subscriber that already knows about Closely Surfer. That's a good question. Will Closely Surfer work if I switch off the laptop? Nope, you have to keep your laptop open as this is the Chrome extension. And another related question sounds like Closely is a cloud-based solution. And earlier, you've mentioned that it's much safer than Chrome extensions. What about Closely Surfer though? Appreciate this question and happy to answer it. So since Closely Surfer is not an outreach platform, it does not send any connection requests, any follow-ups, therefore it does not increase the probability for any account to be detected by LinkedIn. Is there any chance to withdraw pending invitations? Well, of course, you can withdraw pending invitations manually, but if we're speaking about some scaling, I realize that it may be very, very time-consuming thing. So yes, this is a part of our product map and will be released soon within Closely Surfer. So to wrap it all up, I'm very happy to say that Closely is growing and becoming the whole ecosystem, I would say. And right now, you can not only create automated campaigns and easily track the results in one dashboard, managing all your records and the whole bunch of your conversation in one inbox. You can also work with the laser-targeted approach, scraping people from posts, groups, and events, engaging with the highly relevant audience. You can also increase your network more effectively using our invite by email feature that allows you to invite people using their emails and do this much more effectively than simply adding them manually through LinkedIn. Also, you can find emails and other contact details of people using Closely Explorer, which is one of the biggest business-to-business databases with around 150 million records in one place. And very soon, you will be able also to use the Chrome extension, completely free Chrome extension, for saving people to CSV, finding their contact data, and saving them for your future campaigns with Closely or any other automated solution. So basically, that's it for today, and thank you very much for your attention. Hope you'll find this demo useful, and make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and Facebook community, link in the description. And in case of any questions, please remember, reach out to us anytime directly through support, through our community, or through emails. Take care.